1983 World Cup Final. The team that had managed to win just one game in the last two World Cups reached the finals. It wasn't just a surprise for the English and the cricket world at large. It was a shock. NKP Salve, the then BCCI president, approached the English cricket authorities for some extra passes for the finals at Lord's. The English didn't only refuse him, they rejected his request in such a manner that Salve, who was also a member of Congress government in power at the time, was left absolutely flabbergasted. That insult was rooted so deeply within him that in the next few years, he managed to set afoot a change of events which tilted the prime meridian of cricket from England to the Indian subcontinent. Amongst those events that were triggered by Salve's insult, the formation of the Asian Cricket Council, also known as the ACC, was one of them, which is the same organization that conducts the Asia Cup. This is the story of how the Asia Cup began after the humiliation of an Indian cricket administrator in the early 80s and arguably became one of the biggest marquee events in the international cricket calendar after the World Cups. Before the story starts, it's crucial to understand that in the 80s, despite India winning the Prudential Cup in 1983, cricket was still a white man's game, with England being its holy land. The English weren't the best team on the field, but their cultural, political, and economic dominance ensured that they drove the narrative of cricket. Hence, when Salve was seething after his humiliation over a trivial issue of match passes, the first thing he wished to do was take the World Cup out of England. He started his work the very next day after Kapil lifted the cup at Lord's. He met Air Marshal Noor Khan, the Pakistan Cricket Board chief, and discussed his plans passionately with him. They both met Gamani Dissanayake, the Sri Lankan cricket chairperson, and the ball was set rolling to form an Asian bloc within the ICC to challenge England and Australia's domination. The Asian Cricket Council was then formed as the Asian Cricket Conference in New Delhi on the 19th of September 1983, within 90 days of the World Cup final at Lord's. It was a monumental effort from Salve and his South Asian counterparts to form this wide-reaching collaboration, which also included Bangladesh, Malaysia and Singapore, along with, of course, India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. The axis of cricket was shifting politically to challenge the English domination even further and maximize the potential of a billion-strong subcontinental audience. The Asian bloc needed economic and infrastructural support. This is where the story needs to take a slight detour towards the West, as the most interesting and inspiring character of this story enters with his money, might and vision, an Emirati sheikh. The sheikh from Sharjah. Abdul Rahman Bukatir was just a schoolboy in Karachi when he got enamored with cricket. He moved to the UAE soon after his education and created his business empire in Sharjah, which was benefiting tremendously from the influx of dollars from the oil trade. Bukatir may have become a business tycoon in the UAE, but the love of cricket hadn't left him. He proposed the idea of an Asia Cup at Sharjah to Noor Khan and NKP Salve, and this is exactly what they needed. So they came on board readily, and the office of the council was established in Sharjah. And come 1984, the first ever Asia Cup, sponsored by Rockmans, was organized. And what began with the Asia Cup was followed by Sharjah hosting more than 200 one-day internationals alongside some of the richest people on this planet attending those games. The story of the Asia Cup is also the story of how the dazzling dance of cricket in the dusty deserts of Sharjah converted into cricket's El Dorado. Cricket is not played in a vacuum. It gets affected by everything that happens outside the ground. Right from the second edition of the Asia Cup, the political inconsonance of South Asia started affecting the cup itself. India didn't take part in that as it was being held in Sri Lanka, which is in the middle of the violent civil war, and the LTTE was at its most powerful in the Tamil Eelam movement. In the 1991 Asia Cup, Pakistan didn't even travel to India due to the ongoing conflict of the Siachen Glacier in Kashmir. Even this year, the Asia Cup, which is starting soon, is being played in 2 different countries, with a frankly ridiculous schedule to be fair, because India didn't want to travel to Pakistan due to security concerns. It's ironic that a tournament that was formed to challenge the domination of the English in the ICC by creating a united Asian bloc has itself gone through a discordant history that closely mirrors the political instability of South Asian geopolitics. Regardless, what started with NKP Salve's humiliation triggered a chain of events that were fueled by the vision of making Asia the prime meridian of cricket. Today, the result is in front of us, as the BCCI equals ICC memes flood the internet whenever the umpire gives a decision in India's favour, and the IPL becomes cricket's biggest league. Amidst all this, the Asia Cup stands as a symbol of the success of those disgruntled South Asian men who joined hands with an Emirati to give a cricketing identity to the most populated region on this planet. That's all we have in this particular Classics. Thanks so much for watching. It's a goodbye from us. Please like this video. We'll see you soon.